why is it that for 13 good months, the letter was not written to stop the salary until now?
Mr. Chair, if you look at our appendix B, it is dated 25th of June 2021. And we received the letter from her that is resigning from 6th April 2021. Sometimes these delays occur because of administrative process. We need to find out whether the said officer truly has resigned, she had submitted all her accoutrements and other matters relating to resignation. And the process also involves our HR audit and the Controller and Accountant General's department. So these are some of the issues that causes the delay.
Yeah, I've seen the computation, which was dated June 2021. But I'm not sure that for one good year or 13 good months, the controller will not effect the changes to stop the salary. What is wrong with the controller and that when they receive this computation, they still didn't effect the changes? So, is there any current communication between the Immigration Service and then the Controller and Accountant General?
Mr. Chair, that is so. And we've written to the Controller and Accountant General to make sure that her gratuity, will deduct that from her gratuity.
Has she got a gratuity to that extent?
Yes, please, Mr. Chair.
All right. Kindly ensure that the deduction is made from her gratuity and pay back to government. Yes.
Very well, Chair.
So if you can ask the Director of Finance to pursue this with Controller. Now, the second person, Moses.
Mr. Chair, in respect of Moses Elong Pogo, Moses Elong Pogo also resigned. Unfortunately, his salary could not be stopped immediately. A total amount of 8,851 cedis 60 pesos stated by the auditor was in respect of 4 months. It has been found out that it was rather 3 months that was on end, amounting to 6,637 cedis 89 pesos, which has subsequently been paid from his account to the Auditor General's recovery account. Find attached evidence of transfer from ADB marked as exhibit or appendix B2. So we have recovered the said amount, Mr. Chair.
Auditors, can you confirm this?
Honorable Chair, after the reconciliation, the outstanding amount has since been recovered into the Auditor General's account. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Go to the last one for Ghana Immigration Service, paragraph 699. Unapproved revised contracts. So the auditors have noted that management revised 2 contracts by more than 10% of the contract sum without approval from the Central Tender Review Board. And the original contract sum for the first one was 2.9 million, but this was revised to 5.7 million, giving a difference of 2.8 million, which is 94.69% variation. The other one is original contract sum is 1.098 million, which was revised to 2.359 million, giving a difference of 1.260 million, resulting in 114.74% variation. These are all above the 10% threshold, which is allowed for variation. Auditors, your recommendation is that the Comptroller General should ensure strict compliance with the provisions of the procurement law in all procurement transactions, and also seek retrospective approval from the Central Tender Review Board. Mr. Comptroller General, have you sought to get approval from the Review Board?
Mr. Chair, we have remedied the anomalies.
So you got approval?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chair.
Auditors, can you confirm that they got approval for the anomaly?
Honorable Chair, approval has been given to them, and our recommendation has duly been complied with. Thank you.
Honorable Yusuf.
Chairman, I have a little problem with this, and we are not being consistent. I'm talking to the auditors in particular. There have been instances where even small figures were raised, and you ask that the law be applied. Somebody has varied the contract even more than the original sum, and we are asked that we should seek retrospective approval and let it go. That is serious. And I've listened to our Vice President before when he spoke about such anomalies, and that it leads to corruption. I don't know whether something has changed. So I want to find out from the controller, this is the Controller General, whether this act doesn't lead to corruption. And what was the reason for such violation? And why you think you shouldn't be sanctioned?
Mr. Chair, with your permission, I may like to explain. First, in respect of Wikaldo, he was contacted to wall the Asinfosu Immigration Training School and the Academy. And those of us who have gone to Asinfosu, there was no walling of the place, a small portion, and it's very dangerous for a school, a security institution, that you don't have a whole wall, leading to people coming in or some of the students going out to town. Initially, they did not realize the seriousness. So when I visited the place with some of my officers, the estate officers, I asked why they did not make sure that the whole amount. But if you have been part of a process of maybe putting up a structure, you realize that it is more than what you anticipated. And for the contractor to leave site and come back, part of the expenditure. So we decided that we will seek further approval from the appropriate entity committee when we realized that the threshold was very, very high. And it was decided at management that that is a course of action, rather than waiting for the contractor to move out of sight with the workers, staff at the school. So this is what caused the issue.
Controller General, what I'm seeing here is construction of dormitory and not wall. In any case, nobody is saying that that project is not viable. And nobody is saying that that project is not important. What we are saying is that you have violated the law. And do you agree with us that you have violated the law?
It was both the construction of the wall and the girls' dormitory, because we had to put up a new structure for the school.
Agree. You have corrected yourself. That is both walling as well as construction of a dormitory. But what I'm saying is that we have a law, the Public Procurement Act, which has spelled out what to do if you're seeking to review an existing contract. And from what the auditors have told us, you heading that institution failed to go by the laws. And I'm asking whether or not you have not breached the law. And if you have breached the law, you think you should go free?
Mr. Chairman.
Minister, the question is directed to the controller. Unless you want me to ask you a question, I have a question for you. But let me finish with him first.
Mr. Chairman.
The minister is leading the team, so she can respond to the question.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I think the Controller General have explained, and I want my colleague to just take it as it is. We are not going to do such again. And he have done it now that he have done the contract. Why don't you allow him so that he will correct his mistakes next time he don't do that again after he has explained? Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Minister, what you are simply saying is that if somebody on the street is found stealing and the person can give a good justification, we shall allow the person to go. Is that what you are saying?
Mr. Chairman, no, sir. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying this is concerning girls' dormitory. So concerning women, gender respond is what I'm giving you. So thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Honorable Roxon.
Chairman, thank you very much. Yes. Controller General, I know for a fact that you are a trained lawyer. Is that the case?
That is so, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, I know for a fact. You are my senior in the law. Now, I am worried that this matter has found space in the Auditor General. And let me read Section 87, subsection 1 for your appreciation. Except in cases of extreme urgency, where there will be an aggregate increase in the original amount of the contract by more than 10% of the original price, a procurement entity shall inform the appropriate tender review committee in the case of a contract subject to review by the tender review committee of the proposed extension, modification, or variation order with reasons. Now, the reasons you have preferred do not factor into the extreme urgency situation at all. And I am worried. Just 3 days ago, I'm bringing this matter to your attention. Just 3 days ago, somebody was cited in the Auditor General's report here. We interrogated the matter here. A teacher. He left the GES and joined your service. That was the evidence. He earned salaries that he was not supposed to earn from GES and apparently joined your service, Ghana Immigration Service. Today he's serving. And I'm sure tomorrow he will leave your entity and join another entity and also earn some salaries that he was not supposed to earn. So when breaches like this occur, it's a problem for the committee. Last year, we referred as many as 188 people for prosecution, for procurement breaches, leading to sums of money much less than this. Similar breaches recommended by the auditors. So I am curious that they didn't refer you to prosecution. That's my curiosity. And I think that as the head of a very important security agency as yours, and being my senior in the law, I think next time you should pay more attention to what the law says so that we all comply within the law and don't have some of these problems. I'm seriously disappointed. But, well, the committee says we should let you go. So, the committee says they should stick the recommendation of the auditors. Yes, I agree with you. Chairman, thank you.
Thank you. Vice Chairman, that will be the last.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Now, what I want to find out, for example, the renovation of the VIP arrival lounge. The original amount was 1.98 million. At 1.098 million. But then it went up to 2.359 million. The extra amount, the variation was 114.7%. My question was it an additional works that was added to it, or you had an incompetent contractor? Because you find out this, it's very difficult to get an estimate from contractors. They will lowball you till they get into the job, and then they will tell you that we have to do all this. Was that what happened?
Mr. Chair, no, please, it was an additional contract. What happened was that prior to the award of the contract, those who have visited Aflao, an important international border post, entry and exit, and realized that the building was in a very bad state. So they did the work and realized also that in terms of coming together as security agencies, the customs, port health, national security, small arms, realized that the painting of the GIS and their side, realized the dichotomy, the differences. And because it is an international border post where we work together, they appealed to me, and I said I'll get back to their authorities. But I've decided at management that in order to beautify the place, to enhance the image of the Republic of Ghana, Ghana Immigration Service, where all international stakeholders pass through, we decided that we will come together and beautify the place. So we decided that we'll look at it and get the appropriate authority to approve it. So that is what actually happened, with due respect.
Auditors have already given us the confirmation that they have rectified the anomaly. They asked them to get approval from the Central Tender Review Board, which they have done. So based on that, we'll move forward to the next issue. And that'll be all for Immigration Service, but you are not discharged yet. You are not discharged yet. Now let's go to paragraph 702. Honorable Yusuf.
I'm so disappointed that I was even thinking about the different thing. Seriously. Yeah, so the infraction is on transfer revenue, untransferred revenue, 17,632 Ghana cedi. I want to find out whether you've received the money.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. That has been done, and the evidence is attached as Appendix 3.
Yeah, so auditors, has the money been transferred to the appropriate account now?
Honorable Chair, the amount has been transferred now. Thank you.
Chairman, I think fire service on this, they've done the right thing. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's go to the next one, paragraph 705. Honorable Aka.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Fire service. You awarded a contract to the tune of 497,972 and later varied the contracts. You changed the fiscal works to supplies for reasons best known to yourself. Yet, the supplies were not up to the tune, shortchanging the service by the amount of 250,650. And you have been asked to refund that money. Can you please update the committee if that money has been paid? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The amount has been paid. The outstanding works cited have been duly completed. A joint inspection team, inclusive of the regional external auditor, inspected the project and concluded that works have been satisfactorily executed as evidenced by the final report of the consultant to the project, that is ACESL. The Bono Regional Headquarters since has been handed over and commissioned. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
If I understand you, it means that you went back to the physical works, because according to the auditors, you replaced the physical works with supplies, and yet the quantity that you requested was not supplied. So are you saying that you left the supplies and went back to the physical works, or the supplies were given to you? Which one?
Mr. Chairman, computers and other equipment were supplied.
But in your explanation, you say that the project was completed to the satisfaction of the engineers. So can you come clear? If you read the auditor's report, initially you wanted to do some physical works, but you changed it and replaced it with a supply of furniture and computers. And yet, these things were not supplied. So, from your answer, I would like to know whether you now change back to the physical works or the computers and furnitures were supplied. So let me come clear. I didn't get him very well.
Mr. Chairman, the computers and other equipment were supplied.
Okay, auditors. It says a balance of 250,650 were just supplied to them. Can you please confirm?
Honorable Chair, the unexecuted physical works was later done by the contractor, and the computers and accessories and other office furniture was also supplied, which we verified them and we can confirm that there's no amount outstanding. Thank you.
All right, Chairman, thank you.
Thank you very much. The last one for Ghana National Services, paragraph 711, is on earned salary. That you paid one Benjamin Soa. A disease staff was paid from July 2021 to June 2022. That's 1 year. So the recommendation to the regional commander is that they should immediately recover the amount from the beneficiaries of Benjamin Soa. Has the amount been recovered from the beneficiaries?
Mr. Chairman, the amount has been recovered as evidence in Appendix 2.
Okay. Auditors, can you confirm this for us?
Honorable Chair, confirmed.
Good. That'll be all for prison service. National Service, Ghana National Fire Service. Let's go to Ghana Prison Service, paragraph 708. Honorable Ajay Burton.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Sunyani Central Prisons, you have a case of unearned salaries. 2 of your staff died, and you kept paying them. Zohunu Yaira Yawa was paid 2,783.33. Then Baini Esther also paid 2,550.55. And then you have another officer who was also paid 6,651.39. So the auditor's report indicated that you were to recover those monies and pay to the account. Have you done that?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. All the amounts as recommended by the Auditor General have been recovered and evidence made to them. Thank you.
Auditors, can you confirm? There's a second part though. So let me add a second part so you can deal with them. There is also 2 cases where 2 of the officers were demoted, and so it should have reflected in their salaries. But you kept paying them their old salaries. So that was also to be refunded. That amounted to 1,512. So has that also been paid?
Mr. Chairman, amount duly recovered and also paid as recommended by the Auditor General.
Auditors, can you confirm those payments for us?
Honorable Chair, the outstanding amount has been paid. Thank you.
Chairman, that will be all for me. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That will be all for Ghana Prison Service. We have finished the issues with the Ministry of Interior, but there's a request for public interest question for Ghana Immigration Service. So I'll ask Honorable Yusuf to ask the question.
Chairman, I'm grateful. In fact, the question can also go for fire service as well as prisons. I've seen that in 2022, you did some recruitment. There's evidence to that. 2023, you did same. But before that, I never saw any adverts. Is it the case that now you do recruitment without advertising to the general public to ensure that there's fairness in the process of doing your recruitment? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, we don't do recruitment without advertising it. We always advertise it. So maybe you didn't check. Next time, as we are coming, we are going forward, you see the adverts. Always try and buy the papers and look in. We do advertise before we do recruitment.
Deputy Minister, can I assure you that you are saying this on oath? You are saying this on oath, and I'm going to proceed to ensure that you back what you have just said with facts. I have asked the question before on the floor of Parliament, and the information was that because you advertised in 2021 and you had a backlog, you are using that to recruit. And I'm asking whether in 2022, 2023, you have advertised or not. And you are telling me that you have advertised. Is that the case?
So it's the same.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. You said exactly what my boss told you. We did the 2021 advert, and all that we were doing was the backlog. So we did it. It is the truth my boss told you, and I'm telling you the truth.
What you have said is that you advertised in 2021.
Exactly.
2022, you haven't advertised. 2023, you haven't advertised. The point is this. If somebody was not qualified in 2021, but qualified in 2022 and also qualified in 2023, per this arrangement, you are excluding that person from this recruitment process. In that case, are you being transparent in the recruitment process? That's my point.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. You are doing transparent work. And I think what my boss told you was the truth. We did the adverts in 2021 and 2023. There was no recruitment. All of them were from 2021-22. So there was no recruitment. Take it from me. 2024, if there's a recruitment, we'll do the advert. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Chairman, I leave it here. I just want some of this information for further works. Okay, and I'm very grateful, Chairman. Even the procurement issues, I don't think we'll leave them here. Thank you.
Honorable Roxon.
Chairman, thank you very much. Controller General, my question is for you. Your barrier at Sukuma, I am having problems with your men. They are not treating our people well, especially the people from my constituency, adjoining constituency, South 9, Peki, Kpali, Kpeve, Tongo, and those from who. When you get to Askuma, they treat them like they are crossing a border. I'm not saying they shouldn't do their work. They don't do that at other immigration points I've crossed. When I go to Sogakope, the officers there don't ask the people to get down, search them, to walk across the bridge. But when you get to Askuma, they ask people their nationality. They ask them all sorts of things. They don't stop me. I'm bringing you this report because of the reports I've received from my people. It's becoming sometimes embarrassing, and to the extent that it's demeaning. I got an account from a couple. They were so embarrassed. They came to Peki, their vehicle broke down, so they decided to join a trotro to Accra, so they could get a fitter to come and fix the vehicle. They called me, the woman was in tears. She was totally embarrassed. And I thought that today, having the opportunity to see you, this happened, I think, during the Christmas. And I want to bring it to your attention. They should do their work, but they shouldn't embarrass our people. They are not crossing international boundaries. This is an internal barrier. Do your search, do whatever you want to do, but don't subject the people as if they are crossing international boundary lines. If I get to Aflawo and I want to enter Lome, I know what I go through. I don't complain. But don't bring the same standards and subject my people in an internal barrier at Askuma. I thank you very much.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, it's quite unfortunate. We'll look into the matter, but it's very important that in terms of national security, we all know what is happening across the entire sub-region. So we have created, with the permission of my minister and the ministry, more inland checkpoints to check people who are coming in, who are going out. But we'll look into the matter and respond appropriately. I'm most grateful.
All right, thank you very much. Honorable Member, that will be all for the Ministry of Tourism. I want to, Ministry of Interior, sorry. I want to thank the heads of the security agencies, the Chief Director, the Deputy Minister, and all other directors who came to support the committee to do our work. I want to thank you very much for coming. On that note, you are discharged.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you
very much.
Let's have Ministry of Fisheries and Aquaculture. And Clerk, administer the oath.
I, Lewis Howard Compson,
swear by the Almighty God.
Swear by the Almighty God.
That the evidence I shall give before this committee.
That the evidence I shall give before this committee.
Touching the matter in issue.
Touching the matter in issue.
Shall be the truth.
Shall be the truth.
The whole truth.
The whole truth.
And nothing but the truth.
And nothing but the truth.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Welcome, Honorable Minister, to the committee. Could you please introduce yourselves, please?
Thank you, Honorable Vice Chair. Good morning to committee members. Good morning, everyone. My name is Mebisawa Komsen, Minister for Fisheries and Aquaculture Development and MP for Autu Senior East, Kaswa. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Marion Papa, Chief Director of the Ministry.
Good morning. My name is Eric Ba, Director in charge of Policy Planning, Monitoring, Evaluation at the Ministry.
Fred Kwesi and Chibwedu, Executive Director, Fisheries Commission. Thank you.
Good morning, Honorable Chair. Edwin G. Alexander, Head of Legal. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Minister of Fisheries, your first infraction is on paragraph 824, and it's unpresented payment vouchers for 3.08 million Ghana cedis. What has happened to these vouchers?
Thank you, Honorable Chair, for the opportunity to explain what's really happened for this unpaid voucher. I will want to give the floor to the Executive Director to give his answers. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. The auditors visited the regions and they have inspected all the vouchers. Thank you, Chair.
Auditors, could you confirm what they just said?
Honorable Chair, the 111 payment vouchers has been presented for our review. Thank you.
All right. Yes, Honorable Isaac.
Chairman, so are we saying that 111 payment vouchers, at the time of the auditing, they couldn't find any of them? 111. As many as 111.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, Chair. Okay, so these are releases that are given to the regions every quarter. And the regions are also being audited by the external auditors at the regional level. So the vouchers were not with us as at the time that they were doing the audit. So when we gave them when we told them that they are with the regions and they've been audited, they decided to go to the region themselves to confirm. And then we also asked the regions to also submit copies of those vouchers. So we gave it to them. They also went there and they confirmed that. Thank you, Chair.
All right, the next infraction is on paragraph 827. Honorable, what's her name again? Honorable Roxanne.
Chairman, thank you very much. Honorable Minister, you are welcome once more.
Thank you.
The case of the auditors against you in this matter is that we have overpaid some supply in excess of 695,000 Ghana cedis. We awarded the contracts for the supply of some pickups to the tune of 2.1. And when we were making payments for the supply of the vehicles, we ended up paying them 2.8 million. Now, the recommendation of the auditors were very straightforward. We should ensure recovery of the overpaid sum. Has this been done?
Okay. Thank you, Chair. I think those ones were in respect of 2 Prados that the supplier was to supply. It was done, but there were defects.
Hold on. Let's get this corrected. Contrary to Regulation 78 of the Public Financial Management Act, LI 2378 2019, a review of procurement documents disclosed that the Fisheries Commission awarded a contract in the sum of 2.133995.48 pesos to Guma and Sons Limited for the supply of 8 pickup vehicles. If that is not the case, then let me get to the auditors to correct this before we proceed. Auditors, the commission says that the vehicles were to be supplied were those of Prado and not pickups.
Honorable Chair, it was pickups and Prados as well.
8 pickups and Prados? Toyota Prado? How many Prados? You mentioned 2. I just want to get the facts corrected.
Yeah, so thank you, Chair. So it was pickups and Prados.
How many pickups?
So the Prados were 2 and then the pickups 8.
Okay, so the auditors omitted the mention of Prados, okay. 2 Prados. Okay. Yes. Now, regarding the overpayment.
Okay, thank you. So the Prados were returned to the supplier because they had major defects, and we had to recover it has not been supplied yet, so we have.
No, are you explaining the overpayment? Is that your explanation for the overpayment? The facts are that you awarded a contract for the supply. Now you have enhanced the number of vehicles, 8 pickups and 2 Toyota Prados at the price of 2.1 million. The auditors are saying when they reviewed the documents regarding this, they discovered that you had paid the supplier for the supply of the vehicles. But in paying the supplier, you overpaid. That's the case they are making.
Mr. Chair, okay, so as at the time of the audit, the Prados were not there. So they saw the pickups.
You see, ED, Executive Director, take your time.
Okay.
If the Prados and the pickups, what sort of model were the pickups? Toyota as well? Or different model? So Toyota vehicles, pickups, I'm sure Hilux and Prado, at the total sum of 2.1. Unless you are saying that the 2.1 was not in respect of the supplier of the Prados as well as the pickups.
They are, Mr. Chair.
Yes. So explain to the committee what led to the overpayment. Your explanation is not satisfying that.
Honorable Chair, permit me to come in. My understanding is that it's not overpayment. The contract was given to the supplier to supply 2 Prados and 8 pickups. But he supplied them, and the 2 Prado had effects on them, and it was returned. So as at the time of auditing, they were able to provide only the 8 pickups. And looking at the amounts of the pickups, without the Prado, definitely the money paid was more. And that is why it looks like it was overpayment. But because the Prado was not part of it.
No, Honorable Minister. At all. A contract for the supply of 8 Toyota pickups plus 2 Toyota Prados was valued at 2.1. So the vehicles were supplied. Let's assume that the Prados didn't have problems. Let's assume. So the vehicles were supplied and you paid them. Nobody has a problem with the payment. The problem we have is that in paying the 2.1 in satisfaction of the vehicles supplied, assuming that they didn't have any defect, you ended up paying 2.8. This is what the auditors are saying. So the excess payment is not in respect of the fact that the vehicles had a defect or not. They are saying that when they supply the vehicles, in paying the valuable consideration, you exceeded the contract sum by as much as 695,441 Ghana cedis. That is what the auditors established.
Honorable Chair, I think if the committee will permit the auditors and then the ministry to reconcile, to the best of my knowledge, that is the situation. We have not done any overpayment. The situation we have at hand is the Prado that has not been supplied because the money, there were defects on the other two. That's the situation I know as the sector minister. And we have not received it yet. And so we may be granted the opportunity to reconcile with the Auditor General. Thank you.
Before you continue, the Auditor General, your report is that the 2.133 million as a contract sum to Guma and Sons Limited is for the supply of 8 pickups. There is no mentioning of, you've corrected that. So it's supposed to be what? 8 pickups plus 2 Prados. So you omitted 2 Prados in the report. Yeah. Now, if that is the case, let me find out from Fisheries Commission. The 2.133 million is for 8 pickups and 2 Prados. Is that the case?
Yes, please.
Okay. So how come you have made a payment to 2.8 million?
Okay. Thank you, Chair. So we've not made payment of 2.8. So what we've done is that we have paid for the cost. Well, that was
which is 2.133.
Yes, but
okay.
The challenge is that the Prados were returned.
We'll come to that. We'll come to that. We are talking about the price or the amount you have paid. So you are saying that you paid 2.133, not 2.829 that the auditors have talked about. Is that the case? Yes, Honorable.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair, as I pleaded earlier, I'll plead that the Commission, the Ministry, and then the auditors will sit down, will be granted opportunity to sit down. Because my Chief Director has just given me another letter indicating that, rather, there are 2 different contracts. As at the time of the contract, this executive director was not there. He wasn't the one that gave the contract, the supplier. So definitely there will be some difficulties. So she just pulled out another letter, and I will plead that we'll go and do the reconciliation and then get back to you.
Let me find out from auditors. The 2.133 is a contract sum for 8 pickups and 2 Prados. Is that the case?
Honorable Chair, the situation was that at the time we went there, the contract sum was 2.1.
That's right.
For the supply of those vehicles.
No, I want you to mention the quantity.
Yes.
The types and the quantity.
The 8 pickups and the Prados.
Good.
Unfortunately, they paid 2.8. And
right.
they've even made a recovery of 256,100.
Already?
Yes, already, which we have a receipt.
So
the issue of
there's an
not
issue
overpayment
here.
is a problem here.
There's an issue here that the ministry or the Fisheries Commission is not fully prepared. You're not prepared.
Mr. Chair, we are prepared. But
Okay.
the explanation given here, the receipt you are talking about, according to the executive director, that the money that was given back, because he couldn't supply the Prado, he was asked to pay the money back. And that is why I said if we could be given the opportunity, just this portion.
Minister.
Yes, sir.
I beg you. Don't defend. The money which is given back, is it coming from the 2.1 million or is coming from the 2.8 million? That's what you should establish first. The auditors are saying that instead of paying 2.133 million, you pay 2.829. We need to establish from your point, have you paid 2.8 million to Guma and Sons Limited?
Mr. Chair, the letter I have with me here says that contract for the procurement of 2 number Toyota Prado station wagon 4-wheel vehicles. We refer to the contract dated 15th October 2021 for the procurement of 2 number Toyota Prado saloon wagon 4x4 vehicle meant for the commission at the cost of 947,924 Ghana cedi. Honorable Chair, that is why I'm saying that maybe the procurement of the Prado was a separate contract because they are demanding for the payment of refining of that money because the Prado has not been supplied. After the supply, there was an issue, so it was returned. And this is the demand notice that we were giving, that we should pay this money off. And so the Toyota vehicle, the Prado, the pickups were also separate contract altogether. And that is the 2.1 million Ghana cedi for the 8 pickups.
No, madam, you are coming with a different thing altogether. We have already established the CEO of the commission and the auditors have all told this committee that the 2.133 million is for 8 pickups and 2 Prado. Now you are telling a different story that the 2.1 is for only the 8 pickups. Shall we have the contract document?
Honorable Chair, these are the two documents for the two separate contracts. So,
Chairman, thank you. Chairman, you see, the auditors were right, but your executive director challenged their record and said what they found and recorded as the facts in their report was wrong. That instead of only 8 pickups, it actually included 2 additional vehicles, which were the Prados, in one contract. He muddied the water. He muddied the water. I was questioning him strictly on the findings of fact by the auditors. He added the Prados. So I actually said that then the records must be amended to reflect his additional information. Then be it as it may, we'll proceed. Then I proceeded with the payment. He's unable to establish that the 2.8 that is found to have been paid was in respect of only the 8 pickups. But the auditors haven't added even the Prado. So if you are saying that we should add the Prado, we'll add the Prado. Now the case is that, so between the 900,000, which is in a separate contract of supply, and the 2.1, which is in respect of the 8 pickups, which one did the auditors review when they came, executive director? This is a June 2023 report. When did you assume duty, executive director? Executive director, let me have your attention. When did you assume duty as executive director?
Okay, so July 2022.
July 2022?
Yes, please.
So the audit was conducted under your watch. How long did the auditors stay with you when they came?
Okay, so they were with us for 2 weeks.
For 2 weeks?
Yes.
So which contract did they review?
Okay, so I'll be happy if the
No. You were the head. Yeah. They came to you. You gave them the procurement document. So which contract document of supply of vehicles did you give to the auditors?
It wasn't the pickups. Okay, thank you. So, thank you, Chair. We gave them all the contracts.
You gave them the two separate contracts?
We gave them the 2 separate contract documents. But the one we had issues was the Prados. Where
you see, this committee is not reviewing technicalities of vehicles supplied. That's not our mandate.
Okay.
The auditors haven't brought that matter to us. The matter they have brought before us is that you have overpaid the cost of a vehicle you contracted somebody to supply. So when you show them the 2 contracts, what were the nature of the payments in respect of these 2 contracts? Executive Director.
Mr. Chairman, if I may, I believe that perhaps there was some misunderstanding. It appears that there are 2 separate contracts. One contract from the documentation we've seen, one contract was for the supply of 8 pickups at a contract sum of 2.1, which is what we have shared with the chair. The second contract was for the supply of the 2 Prados at about 900,000+. The supply of the 8 and it was to the same contractor, supplier. The 8 pickups were supplied and paid for. The Prados had defects and were returned. It appears that payment of the 200,000 plus that is being asked to be refunded may have been in respect of the second contract, which was for the Prado. And that's why I think Honorable Minister was asking that we go back and reconcile, because it appears that there's some differences. And
I've seen the document that you forwarded to me. I think that it's to me, is getting clearer. The 2.133 million is for the 8 pickups that have been paid and supply was done. There is another contract for the 2 Prados, which is 947,924 Ghana cedis. These Prados were returned. So in the normal circumstance, either they supply the Prado or they refund the money. But 269,579 was refunded, leaving a balance of 695,441, which is the same amount that the auditors flagged here. So that is why the issue is. So now, either the company refund this amount or supply the Prados. Then the matter ends there.
Yes.
Yeah, Honorable Yusuf.
Yes.
Chairman, I think the issue has become very clear now, except to say that it raises some concerns, okay? For instance, I want to find out that it's normal for even brand new vehicles to be defects. It's normal. But I want to find out whether Guma and Sons is a dealer in vehicles. I've just gone onto their website, and there's nothing to show that, at least for now, nothing to show that they are into car business. What I've seen is that they are into construction. And so if that is the case, the possibility is that they will supply you with defect vehicles. So are you aware that they are into car business? Can you establish that? And whether or not you have used the appropriate procurement process to select them to supply these vehicles? Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, for that particular procurement, all the necessary processes were followed.
So which procurement process? Is it competitive tendering? Is it sole source? Is it whatever?
Competitive tendering process. And so the company tendered, and they went through the necessary processes and were awarded the contract.
And they are into car business, because I've seen that they are constructing Agenda 11 hospitals, one in Tema and all of that. Are they into car business? That's my question.
Perhaps they have a group of companies which we are not aware of, but at the time that they were submitting the bids, they submitted enough documentation to indicate that they were competent enough to supply the vehicles.
So today, if I want to cite their place where they display their vehicles, I can be taken there?
I think I cannot answer that, Honorable.
No.
It's very important. I've worked in the public institution before. When you want to buy vehicles from such companies, you visit. I'm asking these questions because they are supplied defect vehicles. I wouldn't have asked the question.
Yusuf, let me come in here. Unfortunately, I don't agree with your submission, simply because a supplier of vehicle does not necessarily need to have a warehouse where you can go and inspect the vehicles. It doesn't necessarily. I mean, he may be an agent for a manufacturer. All that he needs to do is to get the orders and place the orders
and supply defective vehicles.
So if you are asking to go and inspect their premises, I don't agree with you on that one. Please, I don't.
Rankin, I agree with you. That is your work. I know you'll be defending some of these issues.
I take objection to that. You see, withdraw. You see, I take objection to that. That is not my work.
Rankin, I withdraw. He was trying to defend. So I withdraw. I withdraw.
Thank you for withdrawing.
I withdraw that you were trying to defend what I was saying.
Still saying the same thing. It means your withdrawal is not genuine.
This letter, dated 20th November 2023, signed by one Eric Banuyele, Where is Eric Banyele?
Please, he was the director of finance, but he's been transferred to local government.
And it was signed for the executive director. The letter is addressed to the Chief Executive Officer, Guma and Sons Company Limited. But the computation, I just tried to cross-check, it's not correct. 947,924 Ghana cedis, 10 pesos, is the cost of the 2 vehicles, the Prados. Then the letter says that you recall that at one hour of our engagements with you, the payments of the certificates of an amount of 269,579 Ghana cedis, 90 pesos, for works done at VIA came up, and the commission informed you that the amount will be used to offset part of the refund for the non-performance of the contract. So you're referring to the supply of the 2 vehicles. The commission is by this letter demanding immediate payment of an amount of 695,440.52 Ghana cedis in outstanding by 28 December 2023, and your failure to pay the full amount, the commission shall use all available, I can't see it well because it's not clear. So it means that you are offsetting 269,579.90 against the 947,924. The difference will be 678,344, not 695,441. So even this letter there is an error. Yeah.
Chairman, I think we need time to look at this particular infraction very well.
I
was appealing that if we could have time to go into this particular infraction very well, I think we need to go into it very well. I mean, the public is watching, and issues like this, we should satisfy the Ghanaian populace.
As a company, Guma and Sons Company Limited, are they still in operation? Are they still in operation?
Yes, please.
Do they still provide supply vehicles?
Yep.
Do they still supply?
Thank you, Chair. So we are recovering the money.
You're recovering the money from the company?
Yes, we've written to.
Are you charging any interest? If the recovery is going to be made, it should be done with interest.
Yes, we will do that. We are going with the auditor's recommendation, so the interest will be charged.
How can you say the interest will be charged? Yeah, we have to.
There's no documentation for interest.
This committee can upheld the decision of the auditor, or we can vary it. Looking at the nature of this transaction, we think that the company, Guma and Sons Limited, must refund the money with interest. They should refund the money with interest. In fact, you should compute the interest from the day that they failed to supply the vehicle up to the day that they finish paying the last person. So auditors take note.
I think they should be given some timelines.
I think I've given a timeline. They should pay the interest, should be calculated up to the last day that they finish paying. But you are right that we should give them, because if they decide to pay in 10 years' time, interest will be accruing anyway. This is a company. I'm sure it's a well-to-do company. They are making profits. So we give them a maximum of 1 month. Maximum 1 month. Executive Director, 1 month, the company should refund the money to the Fisheries Commission. 1 month from today. So let's say by the end of February. Honorable Isaac.
I wanted to find out, was the vehicle used for some time? The two vehicles, were they used for some time? Yeah, the two Prados.
Mr. Chair, they were used.
For how long?
How long I can't tell. But I know they were used. Yeah. I know it was less than a month, but I know it was used.
The vehicles were returned to the company. The company took possession of the vehicles. That's all. Yes.
Chairman, before we conclude on this matter, do Kuma and what's the name? Guma and Sons, do they do any other work for the commission? From the letter written by the former Director of Finance, it appears that you engage them to do some other work for you. Is that the case?
Yes, please.
And you still engage them for their services?
Currently, no.
Thank you.
All right, let's move to the next one. Paragraph 829, Vice Chairman.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. We are talking about unpaid rent. And you were supposed to pay 10% of rent, amounting to 35,035 Ghana cedis from occupants of government bungalows. Have this amount been collected?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The amount has been collected and deposited to the accounts.
Can the auditors confirm, please?
Honorable Chair, the total amount has been recovered. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
All right, next one, paragraph 833, Honorable Akwesi.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, this has to do with the non-execution of a project. And it has to do with the construction of a regional office in the Savannah region for the Commission. In July 2022, 15% of the contract sum, amounting to 556,000 Ghana cedis, 332, was paid as mobilization to the contractor, Guma and Sons Company Limited. The contractor only did the footing of the building and abandoned the project, according to the auditors. So the auditors recommend that the amount of 556,000 Ghana cedis with interest at the prevailing bank rate of Ghana rate be paid into the Auditor General's recovery account. Has that been done?
Mr. Chair, with respect to the recommendation by the auditors, the Commission has since engaged AESL to undertake an independent valuation of the work that has so far been done. As you note, the auditors had indicated that some work had been done. So the Commission has engaged AESL to undertake an independent valuation to ascertain the actual cost, following which we can then recover the amount.
When was this engagement with AESL done?
November 2023, Mr. Chair.
And over a year. And they said they only did the footing. Have you engaged Guma, the contractors, as to why they did the footing and abandoned the project?
Okay, so Mr. Chair, I understand we have had engagement with the company on the matter.
And is it that they were contesting the recovery that you were making, that they've done some job? That is why you contacted AESL to do evaluation so that that amount can be taken out. And who would bear the cost of the engagement of AESL to do the evaluation?
So, Mr. Chair, the contention is been with from the Guma Post with the contract sum.
Madam, have you written to Guma about the recommendations of the audit?
Thank you, Chair. Please, we have written to him on that.
Do you have a copy of that letter that you wrote to Guma?
Please, we don't have it here, but we can provide it later.
So what is the status of engagement with AESL as to the project? Have they done the evaluation of the footing that was done at the project site? Or they are yet to go to site to do the evaluation?
Thank you, Chair. Please, they are yet to do the evaluation. Yet to go to site.
So what was the value of the contract, Sam? Because we are looking at a 15% mobilization that cost 556. And what sort of regional office were you looking at in Savannah region?
Chair, please, we don't have it here, so we'll provide that one too. Thank you.
Chairman, one, I think the recommendation of the auditors is not being followed. And looking at when the letter was also written to Guma, he said it was just last year. I believe we ought to have a copy of that letter engaging Guma for the refund, and also a copy of the contract document so that at least you can be abreast with exactly what has been done. And also the AESL engagement. I don't see why we have to engage them, because looking at the amount that was paid and the job that was being done, I don't know what footing are we looking at. Auditors, because AES, Executive Secretary, did Guma contest the recovery? Did they contest when you wrote to them?
Yes, please, they did.
In a written document?
Yes, yes, they did.
In a written document?
Yes.
I said, it's my request that that copy of that letter is also added. A copy of that letter is also added. And on what basis? So on the basis of that contest, that is why you engage AESL.
Yes, please.
So that was an agreement between yourself and the contractor to engage AESL to do evaluation.
No, we went through the process again, ETC, and then they agreed that we engage ESL to do an independent evaluation.
An independent evaluation of what? The job that has been done?
No, the work that has been done.
The work that has
yes,
been done?
That Guma has done, that is contested.
So that no, they've not even gone to site to do. No, they haven't. Has AESL gone to site?
They are here to go to
They
site.
are here to go
Yes,
to
they are
site.
here to go to site.
Do you have a copy? Can you give us a copy of the letter to AESL? Yeah. Oh, well, the contractors are not here, so the contractors are not here.
Well,
I think that they should come back.
I think that, Rankin, you want to come in?
I want to propose, Chairman, that we ask them to come back fully prepared with the necessary documents from the AESL, engaging them, and also the letter that they have written to the contractor asking him to refund the money. I think the time and the date will be given by Chairman, so that you put your house in order before you come. Thank you.
Please, Mr. Chair, we have them here. The letter to the AESL and then the GUMA and GUMA's response. We have 3 of the letters here.
We're not here. And
I'm going to direct that you go and come back on Monday. And when you're coming, come with the management of GUMA, where they should take government money and fail to do the work. You should come and explain to us. Let's have the next one, paragraph 836, Honorable Roxanne.
Chairman, thank you very much. Executive Director, the case of the auditors in this matter is that you pay some end of year benefits to some staff. Edie, do I have your attention? You
Yes,
paid
please.
some end of year benefits to some staff, cash benefits. But you failed to deduct tax. So I won't belabor the point. The auditors have recommended the recovery of that. Have you done that?
Please, we have done that and submitted same to the auditors.
Auditors, can you verify and confirm that this has been done?
Honorable Chair, we have verified and you can see that we have confirmed it. Thank you.
Chairman, that will be all on this matter.
All right, so that'll be all for today. For Ministry of Fisheries and Aquaculture, you are, however, coming back on Monday to handle the issues concerning GUMA and Sons Limited. Honorable Minister, on that note, you are discharged.
Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Do you have any other agency that is waiting? Colleagues, the other agencies are not here, so we will have to adjourn our sitting to Monday at 9 o'clock, where we are expecting Ministry of Sanitation and Water Resources, Ministry of Gender, Ministry of Local Government, Trade, Ministry of Justice, Agriculture, and Youth and Sports to come on Monday. And then in addition to that, Ministry of Fisheries and Aquaculture will also come on the Monday so that we can conclude their discussion. On that note, the committee sitting is adjourned to Monday, 5th February 2024 at 9 o'clock in the forenoon.